Welcome back to The Division 2. In this video I want to explain to you the easiest way to find the best gear you can possibly get. And I know there are a lot of you that aren't playing the game at the moment. Some of you are even saying, oh wow, people still play this game. But yeah, people are still playing the game. We also know, and we have known for longer than 17 months, that this game is never going to get much better than it currently is, if you even say it's good. The developers have shown a lack of everything when it comes to this game. There are currently pretty much none of the original developers actually working on the game. There are a few here and there, but a lot of them, even community managers, have been moved on to other projects or they've left the company. There's a lot of stuff going on with this game, and none of it's in a good light. Ever since the beta, so before the release of this game, there has been sound bugs, and they've never got rid of them all. When I was playing in the Dark Zone yesterday, I had this constant buzzing sort of noise, and it wouldn't disappear. So we know the game isn't going to get much better, but at the same time I've also picked up that players love builds. It's one of the key features of this game to get different builds put together, and I have made, I must have made 20 plus over the last couple of months, and that's just to try out different things, different weapons, skill builds. I've even put together a survivability build, which is good in its own ways, but obviously it's bad for if you're wanting to deal a lot of damage. It's more about just keeping yourself alive. I don't think these developers will ever get it right when it comes to gear, making builds, having a very good healthy balance in the game, having diversity, variety in the builds or anything like that. So it's all up to us, the players, to get these builds put together. We're never going to have help from the developers. They don't want us to be powerful. But there are things in the game that we can take advantage of to make ourselves powerful, or as powerful as we can be. And no, it doesn't involve exploiting or glitching or anything like that. To put an example out there would be, if you don't have the Fox's Prayer knee pads on your build, then you are possibly, in fact more than likely, going to be missing out on a lot of damage, because there is a unique attribute on those which gives you 8% damage extra to targets out of cover. There are other things out there as well, but for players saying, oh, where do I find the Fox's Prayer knee pads? All you've got to do is farm Overlord armaments. Wherever that is that's targeted loot, you need to farm. And then there are players saying, I've spent hours and hours trying to get this and it hasn't dropped. That's the whole part of the game. It's RNG. It's not going to be handed to you on a plate. There are a lot of things that I've had to put hundreds of hours into the game to get my hands on. There are players out there that have had 100 plus runs on Legendary without getting the Bighorn, and then there's someone like me, I believe it was my second completion I got it to drop. It's all based on luck. There is a lot of luck involved in this game, so you just need to keep at it. Do not give up. If there's something you need for your build, then go out and get it. There is nothing stopping you getting it, it's just going to be time consuming. That is pretty much all it is, and that's all these developers have really built the game for, is to keep you grinding and grinding. If you are not playing Heroic and Legendary difficulty, you are going to struggle getting a build put together. It's as simple as that. When you are playing Heroic and Legendary, even though the loot doesn't work as it's supposed to in some situations, your best chances of those high-end drops is going to be from the higher difficulties, because even though the systems don't work 100% accurately, they do work. For an example, a lot of people say that sometimes you find better stuff on challenging. That's just the whole part of luck. You can do it, it's not impossible, but you will have better chances on Heroic. If you cannot complete Heroic, I have one suggestion for you, and that is to throw yourself together a skill build. It is by far the easiest way to complete a Heroic mission. Without a doubt, I've run hundreds of different builds, and a skill build is the easiest one because it doesn't take much effort. You put your skills out, skill tier 6, make sure you have a lot of skill damage on that build, and then just sit behind cover whilst your skills do all the work. If you want to make it easier, you can run weapons that have talents that will further enhance your skills. For an example, on the Harmony Rifle, you have a unique talent, which is, because they've classed it as perfect, it gives you increased stats over the normal variant of it. That perfectly in sync talent is going to grant you 20% extra skill damage when using your weapon, and then 20% weapon damage when using your skills. If you have both of the buffs active at the same time, it doubles. So if you shoot an enemy and get a hit with one of your skills on an enemy, both your weapons and your skills are getting 40% extra damage. That's just one talent that will boost your damage up quite a bit. And it's not hard to go and get yourself a harmony. It's not locked behind incredibly difficult content, it's just time consuming. So you would go for targeted loot for rifles, and sometimes the targeted loot is annoying because you would think that's the targeted loot is going to drop more often, and it doesn't. But you just got to put the grind in, because that's what this whole game is revolved around. Literally just grind, 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 repeat. So I'm going to set you guys a challenge. For those of you that don't play on Heroic or Legendary, throw together a build. If you don't feel comfortable doing it with a DPS or survivability build or whatever, throw together just a quick skill build. It doesn't have to be perfected, and the only thing you're doing is going through the missions and looking for highly rolled stats. Until you find things like, you also need to know how to put together a build. I'm going to be doing more videos covering these topics, even though I've done stuff similar before. I feel it's possibly a good time in the game to come back, review it, and go over it again, especially for the new players, because even though a lot of us that have been playing since day one are getting fed up, oh, there's no builds, there's no content, no nothing, there are still new players coming into the game every single day, especially with the amount of sales this game goes on. There are always discounts on this game. When Warlords come out, or just before, I managed to pick up the game on PC for £2.50. So there are new players all the time. Putting builds together is tough, but if you are looking for this kind of information and you want tips, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments if there's anything specific you're looking for. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on so that you're notified by YouTube when I upload a video, so as soon as it goes out you can find out the information, get back into your game, get grinding. I've got videos coming up I'm going to be helping out with skill builds, damage builds, survivability builds. I'm going to be doing stuff around exotics. There's a few videos I've got planned that will be coming out, but that's pretty much it. You need to push yourself without making excuses. Like, I know people say, oh, I don't have a lot of time, but the time you do have on the game, you could be spending efficiently to get yourself to better builds. I'm not saying that in a bad way at all. I'm not trying to target, like, certain players. I'm not trying to be nasty. Everyone makes excuses. I always sit there and say, I can't think of anything to do on this game. And then I literally sat there, chilled, thought of ideas for like 5-10 minutes, and I've come up with like 7 video ideas. And that's without my hardcore character. That's just tips that I can give you guys to help you out. There is always a way to do something. You've got to push yourself to be able to do it. Just keep trying, because eventually one day it will pay off. And especially if you've put hours and hours into doing something, when it finally pays off, you're going to feel so much better than if it was easy and just handed to you on a plate. So get yourself into heroic and legendary missions. I wouldn't recommend legendary unless you have a group that you can communicate with. It can be done with random players, but then obviously you're looking for efficiency to get the mission completion times down, and with random players it's going to take a lot longer. So try and find a team that you can communicate with and just stick at it. Don't give up. Heroic, I've managed to complete it with a purple build, and I'm in no way, shape or form like one of the greatest players in the world or anything. If I was, I would not be playing the Division 2. I'm just an average gamer, but because I have spent so long on this game, I feel I have the experience to put these tips forward, try and give you guys a bit of motivation, and try and help you out. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments if this has helped you in any way. If you are stuck and you don't know what to do with a skill build to start playing Heroic, and if you don't know what sort of drops you're looking for a build that you want, then literally any questions, there's a comment section. I try my best to reply to every comment, so let me know down there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.